Well, hey friends, happy Thursday, happy Friday, maybe it's Saturday or Sunday. I don't know when you listen to With Purpose. We put this out on Thursdays because that's the day that I like to do my planning, but hey, you do you. Today on With Purpose, we are going to wrap up our Art of Leadership mural series here by focusing on one of the last pieces of art that we have around our campus here in Wichita. And I hope that this one is meaningful for you. I think this one is meaningful for our city for a couple different reasons. So in Wichita, maybe one of the things we are most known for outside of this big ugly blue building that sits on the other side of our river is a statue called the Keeper of the Plains. So in Wichita, we have two rivers that come together, the Little and Big Arkansas rivers, or if you're here in Wichita, you say Arkansas rivers. I don't know why we say it, but we say Arkansas. So the Little and Big Arkansas rivers come together in downtown Wichita, and right at the confluence of those rivers, which is a sacred place for Native American tribes, the confluence of rivers is a statue called the Keeper of the Plains. It's a statue by an artist named Black Bear Boson, and he was a Wichitan, and in 1974, this statue was erected, and then later we raised it up on a bigger platform that it's on now to as a gift to Wichita. Amazing piece of art, an amazing symbol. And so that's really cool. And then from that, we have the Chamber of Commerce here in Wichita did this thing where they made a bunch of smaller replicas of the Keeper, and then the businesses could purchase those and put them and decorate them and then put them around the community. So there's like 100 of these mini Keepers spread all over Wichita, decorated in ways that celebrate our city or celebrate the company that they're associated with, or just a little bit special. And so you can actually go around and see all these things. There's an app for that, and it's awesome. So anyway, the Keeper is a really important piece of art for Wichita, and we have one of the small ones that sits out in front of our office building next to this like community path that goes through our property. And I just really like this piece because of the connection it has to Wichita, and I like this piece because of how we decided to decorate ours. Okay, so this is our Keeper, and you'll see that we did ours a little bit different. If you go look at lots of the other Keepers that companies or organizations have done, they are just that. They are just this Keeper of the Plains statue decorated in some unique way. We wanted to do something a little different, and so we built ours into a larger display that kind of ties it in with the murals we've done. So we found a quote that we thought went well with it, and then we put it all together into this thing. And so let's start with the quote that we picked. This is from Amanda Gorman, which you may not know, but you probably remember. Amanda Gorman wrote a poem that she did at the inauguration of one of our presidents just a term or so ago. And she wore this really striking yellow dress, which is why the quote's in yellow. But none of that's the important part. The important part is this piece that we've pulled out that I just love this quote that she had. She said, "When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light if we are only brave enough to see it. If we are only brave enough to be it." I really like this quote, and the whole poem is amazing. Like, she is an incredible writer. But this particular piece just really spoke to me. It stuck out as powerful because I think a lot of the time we see negative stuff happening around us, and we can get enraptured by it. We get captured up into all of the crap that is happening in our world. stuff overseas, stuff in the next state over. One of my pet peeves lately is you go to the local news stations, and all of the stories are like bad things that have happened, but the headlines are written to make you think they happened here, like where you are, but they're actually 3 states away. Like we get so caught up in all of the bad stuff that's going on in our world. But the message of this quote is that it's up to us to see the world different, to step out of the shade, to leave that behind us, and to move into the light, because it's there. There's always light if we're brave enough to see it. And then the little twist at the end, if we're brave enough to be it, because that is what our role in this world is to be light, to be good for other people, for ourselves and for other people, to be the good in our community. This is a challenging quote. It calls us to step up into something that is hard. So we paired that quote with our keeper and local artist Lindsay Cronold. She's done quite a few pieces for us. I think she's super talented. But she did this keeper for us. And I love the way she did it with this reflective paint at the top. This keeper is situated so it faces the east. It sees the sunrise, the light coming into our world each day, and it is busy at the bottom. Life is busy, but as you go up, things kind of spread out, and it's reflective at the top with this like chrome paint that shines the light back into the world. And so I think it goes really well with this quote. So read it again. When the day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if we're only brave enough to see it, if we're only brave enough to be it. Awesome message, and I can't think of a better place to end our series on art, the art of leadership, than right there. So, let's move now into our session of planning. To make sure that we are focused on the right stuff. And one of the ways that we can see the light, that we can see the good that is happening in our world, is to spend just a couple of minutes thinking about gratitude and what we are grateful for, things that have happened to us, things that we got to see or experience. What are some of those things for you this week? We all have a little bit of a to-do list that we carry around with us, mostly mentally, because if we write it down, it has power over us. We want to check that off. Write it down, though, so we do check it off. Just write your list right here in the must-do section for this week. Let's get it done. Okay, so first question for this week. There's all sorts of negative stuff that we see in our world, and if we're not careful, that's all we see. So my challenge for you this week is to think for just a minute or two about how are you unintentionally letting these negative things come into your view. For me, that local news piece that I shared, that's my fault. Like, I'm letting myself see those things. It doesn't do me any good. I don't need to. How are you letting negative things come into your view? Amanda says, for there is always light if we're only brave enough to see it, if we're only brave enough to be it. You know, the reason that I love that line so much is because I think it encapsulates just about everything we've talked about the last 5 weeks. Daniel Burnham made big plans. He was brave enough to put a big vision into the world. The Wright brothers didn't ask anybody's permission. They were brave enough to be it. George Washington was brave enough to share something different with the world in terms of leadership and show us how it could be done. And Marianne Williamson identifies exactly this in her quote when she says, playing small does not save the world. We need to be brave enough to be it. The future is up to us. Our future is up to us. Who we are is up to us if we are brave enough to be it. Where do you need to be braver this week? So that's our series on art. It's kind of weird. Think about this construction dude talking about art. It doesn't fit the typical narrative. But these pieces, the messages behind them have been impactful for me for the last few years, and I hope that through me sharing them with you, they've been impactful for you too. If you like this, leave a comment down below. Let me know, or send me a text or something. If you did, maybe we'll do some more of them. So, anyway, join us again next week on With Purpose when we switch gears, talk about something different than art. Hope you'll like that one too. We'll see you there.